Imagine a future where electric cars are the norm, but for many, this future is out of reach. That's the stark reality facing disabled drivers in the UK, as they risk being left behind in the electric vehicle revolution due to inaccessible charging infrastructure. Campaigners, including the esteemed Tanni Grey-Thompson, a former Paralympics champion, are raising the alarm. Along with the Electric Vehicle Association England, are advocating for the government to mandate standards that ensure public charging stations are user-friendly for everyone. The UK is rapidly expanding its network of public chargers, with an impressive 17,400 new installations in the year leading up to July. That's about 2 new chargers every hour. However, the lack of consistent accessibility standards means that many disabled drivers are hesitant to rely on these chargers. What are the specific challenges? Obstacles like high curbs or gravel surfaces often make it difficult to reach the charging points. Touchscreens can be positioned too high or angled away, which is problematic for wheelchair users. The weight of charging cables also presents a hurdle for some. On Wednesday, the House of Lords took a significant step, passing an amendment to the government's Planning and Infrastructure Bill. This amendment would grant the power to enforce accessibility standards for public chargers. Lady Grey-Thompson, who has won 11 gold medals across 5 Paralympics, now a crossbench peer, has been a vocal advocate for accessible transport. She shared her personal experiences, including a distressing incident where she was forced to crawl off a train due to lack of assistance. She has expressed her frustration, stating that she has found it difficult to use electric cars and feels that disabled people have been overlooked. But here's where it gets controversial. Vicky Edmonds, the chief executive of EVA England, warns that millions of drivers could be excluded from the EV transition. She points out that nearly half of EV drivers struggle with the accessibility of public charging, even as the number of charging points increases significantly year over year. And this is the part most people miss. The UK has a substantial number of disabled drivers, potentially up to 1.35 million. Research suggests that 390,000 of these drivers may not have access to home-based EV charging, making public chargers crucial. Currently, only a mere 2.3% of chargers meet the criteria set by the British Standards Institution. Efforts to improve the standard, known as PES 1899, have stalled. Lord Borwick, who tabled the amendment, emphasizes the long-term implications of installing unsuitable chargers now. He highlights that these decisions will affect disabled drivers for years to come, especially as the sale of new petrol and diesel vehicles is phased out after 2035. He stresses the importance of designing for disability from the outset, drawing on his experience in the business world. Nigel Fletcher, the chief executive of the Multability Foundation, echoes the call for mandatory charging standards. He stresses the responsibility of all public EV charging providers to ensure their infrastructure is accessible. Vicky Reid, the chief executive of Charge UK, emphasizes that no drivers should be left behind in the EV transition, including those with accessibility needs. She notes that charge point operators are working with various stakeholders to address the charging needs of disabled drivers but often face practical challenges. A Department for Transport spokesperson has stated the government's commitment to ensuring accessible charging for disabled drivers, mentioning a review of accessibility standards. What do you think? Do you believe the government is doing enough to ensure an inclusive EV transition? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Are you a disabled driver and have you encountered these issues? What solutions do you think are most important?